us as we start our MACtion press conference schedule here on a Friday. So, Coach, could you take us a little bit through Central Michigan and then whatever you can tell us about Western Michigan?
Yeah, no, it comes quick. You play those Wednesday night games, but Central Michigan, we didn't play complimentary football, and I think it hurt us, and that's a direct reflection on myself. So we have to fight to play complimentary football in all three phases, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And we had some penalties that changed the field position, that changed the outcome or sequences of plays, and that's on us to get cleaned up. And for us, we have to work on us before we work on the opponent. And so today we'll work on cleaning up some things from Central Michigan, as well as starting an introductory on Western Michigan, a team that, very similar to us, dealing with different things from injuries to, whatever the case may be. But still a good football team. They hang their hat defensively. They are really, really good up front at the linebacker position. Those guys play downhill. They got 3 or 4 guys in the front 7 that are truly difference maker type players. And then offensively, they're trying to get it going, just like us, very similar. Playing a young quarterback. They got a running back, number 9, that's a good player. Number 4, the wide receiver, is an excellent player, a guy that we have to make sure we account for on every single snap. And then on special teams, they do a good job of understanding the things that they're good at and trying to play to their strengths.
So, Coach, going into this final stretch of the season, we've seen throughout the year the usage of different players. Do you plan on using more of those guys that you've talked about from the compete team in this final stretch of the season?
Yeah, we feel like those guys can help us, win a football game. We certainly want to, be able to use those guys. And we got a couple guys that, in mind that we feel like can help or provide a spark to our team. And we want to give those guys opportunities to do that. But it starts with practice. You have to be able to, understand the game plan, be able to execute on the practice field before you can execute in the game. So we got some guys we want to give an opportunity to and see how they handle it.
Is planning on red shirts and that sort of thing, does that factor into any of that playing time decision for you guys at this point? I know there's a couple key guys in 4 games right now. Is that like an individual basis, or is it like, hey, we just got to play and see what you guys can do?
No, we're not gonna burn a kid's red shirt if he's not gonna have an opportunity to play significant snaps. So, the program in the whole, you make decisions based on the program and then what's best for the kid. And so obviously we tried to be strategic with who we played and when they played. And, you want to certainly maximize the 4-game rule to give everybody that experience. But if a guy plays better than the 4 games, then obviously you try to play him a little bit more. But certainly, at this point, you don't want to, if a kid you think has a chance long term, you don't want to jeopardize that for 10 or 15 plays in a particular game.
Coach, now that you've had the time to properly evaluate the whole Central Michigan game, what did you think of Nevin's performance in his debut at quarterback?
Well, he needs to play better. He left some plays out there. I think he'll be the first to tell you that. And but we need both of those quarterbacks to play and to play well to give ourselves a chance. And I think there's a lot of things Nevin needs to get better at. And I think I'll be curious to see how he comes out to practice today and how he responds. And so I'll be watching him intently to see if he's doing the things necessary to move forward at that position.
I know you touched on it a little bit Wednesday, but what's it been like, and what have you seen from Nevin? During the spring and even in the fall, he was like the 6th guy off the depth chart. And watching him not only through injury, but also, he's passed a couple guys who are healthy. What have you seen out of him in this rise, and what's that say about him as a player?
Well, obviously we've had a lot of injuries at the quarterback position, so you're just trying to, find somebody that can provide, sparks. And I think Nevin and Justin has done good things, for us in practice. and getting ready for the game that people have to prepare for. So, you know, it's not just one guy. Obviously, if everybody stay healthy, you know, these guys, you know, Justin would have redshirted like he initially intended to, and never wouldn't be playing. So, it's almost you know, the circumstances that we're dealt with right now, and we're trying to make the best of getting those guys ready to play.
Against Central Michigan, we saw great play from the tight ends, from Liam and from Tristan. What's it been like to see Tristan specifically, because he was a guy that was down on the depth chart, you know, last season and seasons before, and now he's taken on a premier role in this offense?
No, I think, you know, Tristan has progressed, you know, for our team. Midway through the season, we lost him for a few weeks there because of an injury. But we have to be able to get our tight ends involved in the passing game from the standpoint of, you know, if we send multiple tight ends out and only run the football, then that becomes a heavy tendency. So, you know, we got to find ways to, you know, marry up our run game with the pass game, and it's good to see Tristan and obviously Liam make some plays that we can continue to build off of that.
You mentioned complementary football. What is it you think that you have to do to kind of, I guess, instill that message and get that across and see an improvement in that area?
Well, you know, I mean, the first drive of the game, we went for it on 4th down and didn't get it. Obviously, you know, you don't go for it on 4th down with the intention of not making it, and we had a great chance to make it, and we made a bad read. But complementary football may mean reserve the right to punt, and don't put your defense in a bad situation. So, you know, we got to go back and look at, you know, what gives us the best chance to win each and every single week. And I think playing complementary football, not having undisciplined penalties on special teams, you know, we kicked off from the 20 because we had a penalty. Then we stop them, then they punt it to the 1 yard line. That all ties into being able to play the game. Our defense created 4 turnovers, but we put them in bad situations with short fields. And so, you know, they are playing better. You know, we probably got to, you know, lean on them a little bit more until we can get going on offense.
Coach, I know the defense has had some better performances throughout the middle of this season, but in comparison to last year, the turnover margin that you guys have created on defense is a real game changer. What has that meant to the team as a whole, being able to get so many turnovers?
No, it makes a big difference. You know, we are drastically improved on defense. Obviously, you know, they're giving up points, but also you know, we're not as good on offense right now. And so if we were able to control the clock and control the ball and stay on the field, then they can show a lot more improvement. So that's where the complementary piece comes into play. And I think, you know, our defensive players are gaining confidence. They're playing hard. They're playing physical. Obviously, last week, you know, we gave up too many yards in the running game. But, you know, I think the next 3 weeks, I think they can continue to move forward on defense and show what they're capable of doing.
I got just one more. So obviously we talked a little bit about it on Wednesday without bowl eligibility and a chance to compete for the MAC championship. What's the most important thing for this team just to finish this season out?
Well, I think any time you get an opportunity to play football, a game that's meant to be fun and play with a lot of excitement, you know, take advantage of it. I mean, there's going to be guys on our team that this may be the last time you have a chance to put shoulder pads on. So take full advantage of the opportunity. And obviously, you know, everybody in our building has pride, and pride goes a long way. We want to fight to finish as a team. And I think for us, it's finishing what we started. Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted, but finish what you start. And I think that should hold true, you know, when these guys become, you know, parents and fathers and husbands and everything else. If you start something, finish it, and finish it the right way.
Coach, is there anything you'll be looking at specifically in this, you know, next game in terms of whether a young player or running backs or things like that to really, you know, have success?
No, I think, you know, for us, obviously we are in constant evaluation And that's what we're going to look at practice, who's out there competing, who gives us the best chance to win, and give those guys an opportunity to go play and make plays. So we feel good about, where we're going. Thank you.
Nothing else? We'll let Coach go.
Appreciate it.
But we'll keep going, yep. All right, thanks to JJ Lippe, offensive lineman, Jaden Dolphin, linebacker, for being with us today for our weekly press conference. We'll take questions for these guys.
That's for both of you guys. So as guys who broke into the starting lineup at a very young age, in your career here at NIU, Coach had mentioned that there's going to be some, maybe some newer guys making appearances. What do you say to the young guys in the locker room before they go out there for the first time as a college football player?
One thing I like to say to them is you don't have to get ready when you stay ready. I think that's a really good quote to live by because you never really know, especially in the game of football. Injuries happen all the time. You never really know when your time's going to be up.
I think the biggest thing is don't be afraid to fail. I mean, I still fail, and I've been starting the last 2 years, so I just tell them, you fail, just next play up,
I guess to go off what Brandon was talking about too, just in terms of having to be flexible too, like some of these guys maybe put in positions that they maybe didn't play in high school. I know JJ, you've moved around the offensive line a bit. Jaden, you've gone from being a defensive back to now being more in that front seven. Just how malleable, how flexible you have to be on this team where knowing, whether it's injuries or something else, you may be put in a position that you haven't played before.
Yeah, I think it's just, Coach Hammock always preaches it, the next man up mentality. And, especially as in my end, like with the offensive line, we're always practicing different positions just to make sure, if, God forbid someone goes down, that next person can, slide in. So I think it's just the biggest thing is just to make sure we all communicate, we're on the same page, and then just really just practicing and getting in the film room and knowing what you're doing and where you're going.
Yeah, I think being flexible position-wise is a very valuable trait, especially in this game, because knowing 2 to 3 positions can really just make you that much more flexible when an injury does occur, because it's bound to occur at some time, and make sure you're ready at any position.
This one's for JJ. I saw a video just over the weekend. Were you playing center?
Yeah, so was it.
Okay, so what is the total position count that you've played so far this year? I know it's been a few.
I played tight end, left tackle, right tackle, center, and left guard. So,
Pretty impressive stuff.
not right guard yet, though.
There's still time.
Yeah.
How hard is that? Just talk about, you literally probably know every position on the offensive line and what they have to do on every play call, right?
Yeah. I think, it's hard at first, but, once you kind of get in the flow of the game and stuff, it's definitely a lot easier. But, I mean, like I said, even during practice, we're practicing multiple positions at once, especially, at least I am for the most part. But, just really knowing the playbook and knowing, where you're going and stuff really makes it a lot easier.
And then Jaden, for you, 16 tackles out there against Central. Like Mike said, you were a guy that used to play in the secondary, but now you're up in the box and you're making a big impact. So what can you attribute that big change from two totally different positions?
Yeah, I think I can attribute that to the coaches for sure. They've helped me transition from DB to linebacker. I think that playing DB in the past has really helped me as well. Having that skill set still and being able to play in the box as well is, I think that makes me a lot more versatile. Being able to guard slots, being able to fill gaps.
I guess, Jaden, just in general, 16 tackles feels like a lot, but, for you guys on defense, when it just comes down to you having to make those plays anyways, does it really occur to you until the end of the game, wow, like I did that much?
No, not at all. It actually doesn't. I was not expecting to have that many tackles. Kind of when you're in the game, it's just go with the flow mentality. Kind of, I'm not really counting in my head. I'm kind of just keeping my head in the game. So after the game, I was kind of surprised to hear that.
And then Jaden, for you guys, the defense, specifically the turnovers this year, there's been a lot more, especially in the game against Central Michigan, some key turnovers as they ended up getting a scoop and score. But what has that meant to the defense, considering last year it was a turnover defense that we didn't really have?
Yeah, it's huge. Like Coach says all the time, turnovers win games, and I think that's helped our defense a lot. Last year, we didn't create as many turnovers, and this year I think we've gotten a lot better at that. We've been practicing that all summer, all fall, and I think that it's really paid off.
And then JJ, on the offensive side of the ball, I know we've talked about this previously, but with all the interchangeable parts, all the different players that have played, how much more difficult, or does it change anything up front for you guys on the line?
I don't think it really changes anything up front. It's just, we just got to be on our details that much more. We got great players and great playmakers. I know Nevin came in the game and he did a great job, and so did Justin Lynch, and both of them have been doing a great job. We just got to, as a whole group, as an offensive line, we just got to really be on the details and really show them the holes and really just be good in pass protection for them too.
You mentioned Nevin. You mentioned Nevin. How do you say he played?
I thought he did great. He's a true freshman. I thought, he went in there and he was fearless. I didn't really see him. It really didn't seem like to me that he was nervous at all. And I thought that just, shows his character. Even during fall camp and, the last couple of weeks, he's been getting reps. And, he just goes out there and he does his business. And I think he really takes ownership of the offense. I think he's been doing a great job.
And then looking at the rest of the schedule, you guys, you have a trophy game in there. You have some newfound rivalries, or a couple past seasons. Western has had our number. What do you think is the most important thing that you're looking forward to for the rest of this season?
I'll just say just competing and just, getting after these guys. I know Western beat us last year, and I believe the year before that too. So, just getting after them, I think, is a really big thing. But I think we're just really, as a team, just looking forward to the next game. And I think Western, we all won to them, so.
Yeah, I think Western definitely has had our number the last few years. That's a team we definitely want to get on. And then the next two opponents, actually teams we haven't seen, or at least I haven't since I've been here, Akron and Miami. Those are two teams that I'd like to win against too. I think just to finish off the season, we'd like to continue to keep growing as a team, continue to keep, at least on defense, continue to keep growing that turnover mindset, continue to keep improving as a team.
And then for each of your position groups, I know Coach had mentioned that there may be some new faces in the lineup down the stretch. Do you guys have someone in mind that you think maybe has deserved that opportunity to get the call up?
I think there's a few guys that actually deserve a call up. I mean, I think almost all our twos deserve a call up at some point because they work just as hard as the ones. They work just as hard as everybody else on the team. And like I said, they stay ready, so they don't got to get ready.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility to see other guys, like Jaden was saying. Our twos work really hard. There's a lot of guys like Matt Schooley and Brandon McKinnon. They're working really hard to, do what they can do. So I wouldn't be shocked if they get in the game here and there. So we'll see how it goes, though.
Any other questions for the Huskies today? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.